Well, good day and welcome once again to Moments with Dr. Steve. I'm Dr. Steve Bonenberger, and in our Biblical Wisdom series, we are pressing into the Gospel of John, and we're spending an awful lot of time in the prologue because I've written a good deal about this in my journey, my spiritual journey, because for me, these verses are kind of the pinnacle of biblical wisdom. And so we're going to talk today about John the Baptist, and it's our message in a body. That's what we're calling this because God sends messages and he encases them, into bodies. And then we have to learn how to live with those messages and then learn how to articulate them. And so for you, you have a message that's been deposited by God into your body, into your vessel. And your job is to figure out what that message is and then to learn how to enunciate it, declare it, and then become a megaphone for it. The Jewish leaders come and they arrive and they are emissaries. And these are the political and the religious class, and they send out their hounds. My goodness, you have had this happen in your life. People have noticed what you've done, they haven't liked it, and they sent out their wolves, so to speak, to find you and to hunt you down. These men are sent to sniff out the scenery. They have no interest in the spiritual outcome or the welfare of the people. That doesn't matter. Rather, they are sent to scout the landscape. And John the Baptist, he's this newbie. He's this phenomena of sorts. He plies his religious trade in the wilderness, and men and women and children come to him, and crowds swell. And now is when the fact-finding mission shows up. Now, he says, my message, listen, is I'm the forerunner. I'm the pathfinder. He said, my job is to clear the way for Christ. His message is short. It's this staccato. It's like he's throwing darts or knives at very specific targets. There's nothing frivolous about this man. There's nothing, elusive about this man. There's nothing really, quizzical about this man. There's no fanfare or flair about John the Baptist. His message is make straight. It's a nautical term. It refers to what the ancient mariners thought was the tiller. It means grab the big arm that controls the rudder of your life and of the culture and of the moment, and find the places where harm and injury and religious pride exist, and these are about to get swept away by the torrents that are both unstoppable and unavoidable that are coming in the person of Christ. Make straight. Till your path. Make sure that you're following the right compass headings, his path. The way of the Lord. This is a way that is untrodden by most and forgotten by the masses. I like that line. Untrodden by most and forgotten by the masses. The way, this path, is hard to discover, has to be carefully and intentionally sought out. It's not something you stumble into by mistake or happenstance. The way, or the path of the Lord, has to be cleared of clutter. I like that a great, great deal. John the Beloved prided himself on clarity and insight. John the Beloved prided himself on clarity and insight. It is the Pharisees, the religious magistrates of the day, the mega preachers of the day that sent this fact-finding mission out. Their intent is not to find good. Their intent was to unwind and, if possible, mute and strangulate the message of this unwanted herald, this one who walked where few dared to tread, lived on a diet of locusts and honey. My goodness, that is poetic. I love that line. This one who walked where few dared to tread and who lived a life that consisted of a diet of locusts and honey. That's poetic. Fact finders probe John's method and question his model. How many times have you had your methods and your model questioned? It happens to me almost every single week. Why do you baptize? If you're not the Christ, nor a prophet, nor Elijah, how come you, by what authority, to this prized place of saying these things and doing these things? What elevated you? Why is your message superior to ours? Every person who ever leads through the power and directives of the Spirit of God has been asked or pressed variants of these questions. Why you? How come you get to do this? Who set you up? Where'd you get this message that was deposited inside your body? How come we didn't get this message? John's silencing response. I baptize with water. My work is but in inoculation. There is one who stands amongst you, the one that will burst the dam and unleash the waters of heaven on this dry and parched generation, is here and present and accounted for. You know him not? What a dagger in the heart. John pierces the hide of these spiritual rhinos by telling them that present and with them is the very presence of the dam burster, and they don't know him, they don't recognize him. He comes after me. His work is drafting and cresting on the heels of my own work. He is preferred before me. His work is superior and, in fact, preferred by my own self. I'm not worthy to even unlace his sandals. Wow, what a statement. When was the last time you heard a preacher ever boast that their work was secondary? I'm not worthy. The one that comes after me, his social and moral and spiritual and eternal throwaway far exceed my own. His atomic spiritual number far surpasses and, in fact, dwarfs and eclipses my own. You're going to want to use that if you're a preacher. Build a life takeaways. Interrogators of all shapes and sizes arrive. Many times our fiercest critics are those that profess to love and admire us the most. Who are you? What imprints and social and relational impact arrive when you show up? What impact lingers after you exit any scene? What are the key determinants and descriptors that rightly encase and accurately frame your persona? Who do you say you are? What is the message that is deposited and baked into your body? How would you describe your own true self? How do you live out and incarnate the words that are your message? What are you yet lacking? What's your life message? What temporary and eternal messages are you pushing forward? Do you speak of the preeminence of Christ? Do you represent the prominence of Christ? Do you speak forth and shout from the hilltops the potency of Christ? The right positioning of ourselves is to put us beneath the presence of Jesus Christ. Plow where others will not trod on this day. The response of faith silences critics. I love this message. If you want to find out more, go to saintallegiance.org. Leave me a note. I'd work hard to reply to every single one. Till next time, I'm Dr. Steve Bonneberger, and this is Moments with Dr. Steve. Travel far.